Hi guys, this is Bwana from Bwana.tv, and today I want to talk about Google Voice. Google Voice. Now, a couple days ago, or actually it was this past Friday, I did some live Q&A chat videos with the chat overlaid. It was down here, but I don't have it in this one. I was watching that earlier today. I was watching the video, just going over it, watching and see how things went. And I saw the chat scroll by, and a chat room member by the name of Fish Twit, he asked a great question that I completely missed when I was recording. And the question was, what do I think the effect that Google Voice will have on the telecoms? And I thought that was a great question. I'll discuss it now. Google Voice is Google's latest baby. In 2007, they purchased a company called Grand Central, which had a lot of features that allowed you to you have one phone number that could forward to many phones. You can have visual voicemail in an archaic sense. You can set up really rich filters so that if you get a call from your mother, it'll go to your cell phone, your home phone, and your work phone. If you get a call from your daughter, it'll go to your mobile phone and your work phone. You can set up all these filters to route calls based on where the calls were coming from. Now, Google bought them, and it kind of sat stagnant for a couple years until recently they relaunched as Google Voice. Now, what Google Voice added was some new features like SMS and voicemail transcribing, which means that when you get a voicemail, they'll automatically transcribe it to text. Now, I recently was activated. I had a Grand Central account, and you have to wait a little while before your Grand Central is upgraded to Google Voice. Mine was upgraded this past, I don't know, Saturday? It was a couple days ago. It wasn't too long ago. And I like what I see. I tested it out. I sent some text messages to my wife. They were instant. And I tried some filters, and they worked as I expected. So the old functionality was there, and the new functionality needs a little work. I think the voicemail transcribing is not going to be accurate all the time, so that's an obvious. But back to the question, now that you know what Google Voice is, will this have any kind of effect on telecoms? I think the answer is yes. I don't think Google has a great relationship with telecoms to begin with. As we've seen in the news, there's been all kinds of spats about tiered bandwidth. Companies trying to charge the telecoms trying to charge bigger corporations more for their internet access than they are for us, based on their traffic and all that stuff. So Google really doesn't, and Google uses an enormous amount of traffic, so they don't really have a great relationship with the telecoms. Recently, Google bid on wireless spectrum against Verizon and a bunch of other people to use the wireless spectrum that was up for bid by the FCC. So you can see that there's some static going on between the telecoms and Google. It's going to get weird because Google needs the telecoms, but at the same time, you can tell by their actions that they're kind of moving away from the umbrella of even needing them. If they get their own way, I think Google's gonna. People joke all the time, Google's taking over the world. I mean, they're positioning themselves to do a lot of things that other companies just couldn't do. It's like a giant octopus with tentacles going out everywhere. I think the telecoms, which were the giant companies of old, they're beginning to see this, and they're starting to lose their power and their control over all communications. And since the internet phenomenon, the telecoms, they really have to be careful because Google can come in and just take over everything, as they've done with search engines, as they're doing with advertising, and now they're working on browsers and cell phones, and all these things are used for communication. Email, Google Voice. It's all about communication. They're all about capturing all of that, and Google's dominating all of that stuff. I think AT&T, Verizon, and MCI. I don't know if MCI is still around, but Verizon and all the baby bells, which split up and then came back together. I think they should be worried. I really do, because Google Voice, if done right, could be a juggernaut. And I think the one action that's going to turn the tide is if and when Google allows you to port your phone number over to Google Voice. So people can port their main number, their home number, or their cell phone number. If they're able to do that with ease, then I think the telecoms are actually going to take Google to court. I think they're gonna file they're gonna call Google a monopoly, in so many words, the actions that they're taking, because I think they're scared, and rightfully so. But with that, Google Voice has all the features of your phone with internet capabilities. So they're actually offering pretty decent rates in terms of long distance calls as well. So, wow. We're seeing a turn of the tide. We're seeing a change and a shift in voice and email and all kinds of communication. And I think Google Voice is just one component that's gonna really knocks people's socks off. And they're gonna be like, what happened to AT&T? Oh, they're building benches now. I don't know. But competition is good. Hopefully AT&T will improve their services, and people will stay loyal to them as a result. All right, this is Bwana from Bwana.tv Fish Twit. I hope I addressed that as best I could. Short answer is yes. I think they should be worried. Google's coming, and they're coming with a vengeance. And it's going to be interesting to see how it turns out. All right, take care.